Hello, fellow humans! Were you expecting to see me today? No, you weren't, were you? Don't tell porkies, I know you weren't. I'm so happy to be here again. We've got a cooking video. It took me a while to find out bits for my camera, I have to say. They were scattered all over the house. You get out of putting the camera on and talking to the camera and talking to you guys. I mean, you're all absolutely lovely. But you do get out of doing it. So we've got some fantastic foods today. I'm meal prepping, it's a Sunday. So my idea for today is to get some vegan chorizo crumble going. Now, how do you make vegan chorizo? I tell you how you make it with this. Some lovely tofu, and I'm gonna have that in some peppers, and I'm gonna have that with some pasta, and I'll show it you both ways. So I'm gonna stuff some peppers with that, top it with a bit of cheese, nice and spicy. I've had it before, I really like it. Also use a lot of mushrooms in that, so if you're a mushroom lover, you're probably gonna like this. And that tofu is flavoured to perfection. I'm also going to make a red lentil and chorizo soup. And I'm gonna make a pasta salad, a cold pasta salad that I can take to work with me through the week. Nice quick lunch. So cold pasta salad, we've got a soup going on in the background, and then we're gonna have this chorizo mix, which we're gonna put with different things for the first few days of the week. I actually filmed a video last weekend. Tell you that, I've done all this. I've spoken to you before, actually. There was a problem with the memory card and it all got wiped. A full hour of footage got wiped. I was very, very sad. I wasn't even annoyed. I was just very sad. I was very dejected. I said to Paul, this is very, very sad. I've done all this work and it's gone. Anyway, after I'd had a bit of a boo about that, I just got back on with my life, and then we're here today. So hopefully the same thing won't be happening this week. We are planning on moving in a few weeks, so I will show you around that as soon as we are getting moved in. We're waiting for the sofa. I mean, I probably could take you in before the sofa arrived. Comment down below if you want to see it. If you're interested, I'll show you. If you're not that bothered and you're just here for the Weight Watchers and the cooking, that's also fine. I'll wait until we move in and then I'll give you a goose. For my breakfast and my lunch today, because I've already had those, I'll put those in here. So for my breakfast this morning, I did have 0% Greek yogurt with some sunflower seeds and some raspberries. And also I did mix into my yogurt this hunter-gatherer collagen creamer. I've been having this, it's a chocolate flavour, the creamy cacao. I was recommended this actually by a nutritionist, and it does taste a little bit like chocolate mousse. It's very nice when it's mixed in to your yogurt. The stats for it are 68 calories, 2 grams of fat and 12 grams of protein per 20 gram serving. I also had 2 potato waffles, which were 3 points each, smeared with some homemade artichoke hummus at 2 points. I got the hummus recipe off the Weight Watchers app. The waffles with hummus was 8 points and the berries and yogurt were 2 points, 10 points overall. I was going to have toast, whole grain toast. And then the weekend, a little voice came in and said, yeah, but you really do want potato waffles. And it is the weekend. So I've pointed them up to have the waffles. Me and Paul went out Friday night and we went to go see Hamilton in Manchester. So I'm going to put a little bit of footage of that, of us on our date night in here. Hamilton, fantastic. The guy who's playing Hamilton, wowee, all of them, fantastic. And when I'm watching it, I think, oh, I'd love to be able to do that. I'm very envious of those people who are up on that stage. I don't know if I've told you this about me before, but I do my tracker the night before, so I try and plan in what I'm going to eat for the next day. Really helps me. Don't have to think about it on the day then. I still have that spontaneity because I can put whatever I want on that tracker the night before, but I do it the night before. It just works much better for me. I know what I'm having, I know what I'm doing. I know a lot of people track as they go along, but I like a little bit of a routine and it works for me. I've just let my lunch settle. I'm gonna go and do a workout. So at the moment I'm working out and I'm doing weight training. I think weight training, yes, it tones you up and you build more muscle, and muscle does burn more fat. We know these things, don't we? But I don't think it shows much on the scale when you're doing weight training. I think cardio, oh, yes, it does. It tends to help your weight loss. I don't know about weight training. It never really has made much of an impact on my weight loss. However, I am turning 40 in a few weeks' time, and I am now thinking, yeah, I need to be building these muscles up. I mean, if not now, when? You're middle-aged, lady. Get a grip. Get on with some weight training. So that's what I've started to do. I've started to incorporate it. And I have done weight training before and I do like it, and I just do it at home. I'll go in the living room now, do it, half an hour job. That's enough for me. So I'm gonna go and do my weight training now, and then I'll come back to you and we will get on with this meal prep. Oh, another quick thing before I go. Look how long my hair's getting now. I'm sure last time I saw you, it was here. It's going longer. I wonder if that's that collagen. My nail person, she says that you should take biotin, but then I heard of somebody else that biotin gave them very bad acne. I think the collagen must do good things for your hair. I mean, I do feel like it's getting a good length now. I want to get it quite long. I'm wanting to grow it. And I think all the nuts and seeds that I've been incorporating into my diet since I came back from holiday, I've really tried to up my healthy fats. I think that's definitely doing something for my skin and my hair. I feel like my skin's a bit brighter, my eyes are a bit brighter, and my hair's growing a little bit better. So that's all good. The collagen and the nuts and seeds. Yes, we're on to a winner. After that workout, I was in need of a snack. It looks like I've not actually changed my clothes, but I just took my shirt off to do my workout and then popped it back on again. So I used this 72% cacao dark chocolate. I just microwaved 1 square in the microwave. I cut up an apple, and then I used this peanut delight granola, and I weighed out 14 grams of that granola. That 14 grams is 1 point. That's as much as you can have for 1 point. So I dipped my apple into the dark chocolate. The dark chocolate square is 2 points. So this snack overall is a 3-point snack, and it was delicious. Going to great lengths to get every last bit of chocolate and every last bit of granola, and just that little bit on my finger there, chocolatey granola finger. Okay, so I'm back. I've done that workout. Felt a little bit shaky afterwards, actually. I think weight training, it puts my body under quite a lot of stress because it obviously you're trying to control those movements. What I started to do is I started to have a coffee before my weight training. Maybe that's not a good idea. I think maybe the combination of the training and the caffeine, maybe that's not doing it for me. I feel a little bit quivery. So I had that snack. So as you saw, some granola, some dark chocolate and some apple. That was delicious. I'm about to get on with the tofu and the soup. So I'm going to drain my tofu first of all, get that drained and pressed, and then I'll crack on with the soup. This brand of tofu called TOFOO, I think, tofu, and it is organic and it is very firm, which is what you want. You don't want too much moisture in this recipe. So I wrap it up in paper towel and then I top it. I push it down with the lid of my bread bin, so anything heavy, a pan, a breadboard, whatever you've got to weigh it down, for 20 minutes while I made my soup. So for this soup you will need a litre of water, which I think is about equivalent to 4 cups, 200 grams of rinsed red lentils, 120 grams of chorizo sausage. Mine has been in the freezer and I've brought it out, so it's defrosted, but that's why it looks a little bit wet. A tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, 1 onion, 1 large potato, 1 teaspoon of garlic granules, 2 teaspoons of paprika and onion. If you have paprika and onion separate, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of onion granules. To begin, I chopped the onion. I wanted it quite small as this soup is not a blended soup, it is a chunky soup. So you want to cut your onions quite fine and then your chorizo into chunks.
Then we are going to fry this off so that the chorizo releases all its juices and the onions become nice and soft and brown. This took around 12 minutes for the chorizo to get crispy. I then diced my unpeeled potato.
All we've got to do now is wait for those onions to brown and the chorizo to get nice and crispy, and then you just add all the other ingredients. You leave it on the hob for 20 minutes with a lid on it, loosely placed on top, and then it should be ready. And it's one that you can freeze this as well, so it's great. You can put it into individual containers, pop it into your freezer. It makes four portions, this soup, and it smells really good so far. I love that smell of chorizo. That chorizo is going to leach quite a bit of that and make it taste really salty and unctuous. If you are plant-based, you can just leave that chorizo out. You don't even need it really, because you've got your potatoes, you got your lentils, you got your spices. This is a great one. It's nice and filling. They're nice and caramelised to the point where they're just about to turn. So we're going to put the rest of our ingredients in.
In go the diced potato with the rinsed lentils, and then I gave this a really good stir, got all those crispy bits off the bottom of the pan, got all that flavour distributed. This is an absolutely cracking soup. After I had eaten the first portion of this soup, I rang my mum to tell her how good it was and that it'd probably taken the lead over my current favourite soup, which is like a cabbage and bacon. I added my teaspoon of garlic granules and my couple of teaspoons of paprika and onion and the tablespoon of balsamic, followed by the litre of water. Now there's no stock in this soup, so you do get a little bit of salt from that chorizo, but I did add extra salt and pepper due to it just being made with water. Once the soup had come to the boil, I popped a lid loosely on top and left it for 20 minutes and moved on to making my tofu crumble. Even if you have had tofu before and not been very keen, a lot of the flavour comes from outside sources with tofu. It doesn't have a very strong flavour at all. In this, because it's heavily seasoned and it's crumbled so small with lots of surface area, even if you've tried it before, this might be good for you. All in the seasoning. So we have some apple cider vinegar, some garlic granules, paprika and onion, Italian seasoning, or you can just use oregano, some cayenne pepper, some ground coriander and some cinnamon. Also, we're going to use some soy sauce as well for that salty taste, and a teaspoon of chili powder. You can use mild or hot chili powder, whichever you prefer. So the mushrooms in this dish need to be cut up quite fine. We're after like a crumb style texture and quite a dry texture. I diced my onion quite finely. I mean, that's as fine as I'm going to get it, to be honest. I sprayed my frying pan with fry light and then I fried my onions off for 3 minutes just to soften them before adding a teaspoon of lazy garlic. I then added my mushrooms to the pan and fried those for a good 10 minutes until they were dry.
This has to be super dry, so all your moisture needs to have come out of your mushrooms. This has been on the hob now for about 10 minutes. On a medium heat, and all that moisture is out of there now. I'm going to crumble in the tofu and then you could leave that for about 25 minutes until your tofu is proper crispy. Once it's crisped up, then we'll add the seasonings. I have turned that pan down a little bit just because I don't want it to burn, but I do need it to crisp up. I'm making a pasta salad as well. However, I am just going to use a shop bought sauce for this. This is just for my lunches at work, and I was making it anyway, so I thought, well, I'll just show you what I'm making. So I've boiled 200 grams of whole wheat pasta, which is cooked, and then I've rinsed it in cold water. I've chopped up some peppers out of a jar, so roasted red peppers in brine, some olives from brine and a bit of cucumber as well. I'm just going to chuck all that in there, some chickpeas for the protein, and I'm going to use this all natural miso tahini dressing Dr. Will's. So it's a tablespoon is 1 point. So I'm probably going to put about 3 tablespoons in there, along with a couple of tablespoons of light mayonnaise. So it's going to be 5 points on my dressing for the whole pan. This is going to do me 4 portions and my whole wheat pasta, which I'll have to point up. But that's my pasta salad lunch.
My roasted red peppers in brine are 0, my olives are 1, and my cucumber is 0. The chickpeas are also 0.
So we've got my pasta, in go the chickpeas. Super simple this, it'll fill me up at my desk. My chopped roasted red peppers, my olives. If you don't have a sauce like this, you could easily just use miso and tahini mixed together. It'll give it that nice salty umami taste.
So my sauces for this Dr. Will's, it was 3 points, and then for my mayonnaise it was 2 points for my light mayonnaise, so that's 5 points on the sauce. In addition to the pasta and the olives, altogether this pan does 4 portions and it is 6 points per portion. Back to my favourite soup of all time. Now, I know this probably isn't doing it justice, but honestly, very, very good. If you like lentils and you like chorizo, you like potato like I do, you're gonna love this. Now we are going to start adding our spices to that crisped up tofu. So to begin, I added a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of garlic granules, a teaspoon of the chili powder, 2 teaspoons of the paprika and onion seasoning, teaspoon of the Italian herbs, and like I say, you could just use oregano, a teaspoon of the ground coriander, and a teaspoon of the cayenne pepper. I gave that a stir and then cooked those spices off just for a couple of minutes before adding my liquids. My apple cider vinegar, so I added a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and a good dousing of soy sauce. So once I had this protein packed crumble made, and it is 0 points, I popped it into the fridge. I was stuffing peppers with it the day after and adding it to a pasta sauce. Can be used for many things, anything where you would use mince or sausage crumble, great in tacos.
It is the morning after now, I'm just going to work. I'm just making up again my yoghurt with my hunter-gatherer collagen creamer that you saw yesterday. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's great. You're supposed to put 2 tablespoons on of this. Now I probably put about a tablespoon into my yoghurt and that's enough for me. It is not sweet, so it doesn't sweeten it up, it just gives it that chocolatey taste. So I'll show you what I'm taking to lunch now today, which is what we've made up yesterday. And then when I come home tonight, I'll show you what I'm having for my tea.
So here we've got my pasta salad, 6 points, and my yoghurt, which is just 1 point today, as I'm just using the collagen creamer. I have used it in coffee, but wasn't keen on it in coffee. Love it in my yoghurt though.
Hey guys, back from work now. I'm gonna make up a pasta sauce with some of that tofu crumble. I'm gonna make a spicy pasta sauce. A lot of pasta, isn't there, going on at the moment? And I'm gonna stuff those peppers. I'm certainly feeling this red pepper today. It is matching in with my outfit. If you can make your tea match your outfit, that's pretty good going.
So I halved and de-seeded my pepper. My pepper does look like a love heart, or if not a love heart, a real heart. It would have been great to have on Valentine's. Pre-cooked some rice. I pre-cooked some for my boys, so I took 2 tablespoons of their rice. 2 tablespoons of cooked rice is 4 points. I added some 0 point jalapenos and then 15 grams of half-fat cheddar. I get my half-fat cheddar from Asda and I think that's the best half-fat cheddar for the taste and the points. That was 1 point. So I mixed that all together and then stuffed my peppers, and then I topped it for an extra cheesy boost with this sliced plastic cheese. Overall, for these stuffed peppers, they were 7 points. If you preferred, you could just have one of these and maybe put it with a protein sauce, chicken breast or a piece of fish, and it could go alongside. On to my final use of the tofu crumble. So I just made up a really basic veggie tomato pasta sauce, lots of chunky veg in there. I've used 20 olives, a full onion which I've sliced, and half a jar of artichokes. Now the artichokes, they do come in oil, so I've had to give them a good pat down. I then pop those into a pan to soften with half a teaspoon of the lazy chili, 2 points for my olives, 2 points for my artichoke, and then I would just account for my pasta. So that full pan of pasta sauce is 4 points. Looking at the sauce afterwards, I would say it's going to do us 3 to 4 portions. Once the chili had fried off and the veggies were soft, I then added a full carton of passata to the pan. This is quite a thick pasta sauce. When I am reheating it later, I will probably add a little bit of water to it. So then goes my tofu crumble there and seasoning. Cooled this and popped it into the fridge for the next night. So all I have to do is cook my pasta and mix in my sauce.
Also, we'll be having the pasta sauce tomorrow. It's quite spicy and fiery because it's lazy chili. And it has the seeds in there as well, so it's pretty spicy. If you don't like olives, you could easily leave olives out of there. You could substitute them with sun-dried tomatoes. You could get sun-dried tomatoes in brine, you could substitute it for that, they'd be really good. Guys, I'm so glad that you've joined me. Thank you so much. Honestly, I can't say it enough. Thank you so much. I know we've been traveling and I haven't been in here in my messy kitchen very often, but I'll be coming back in a couple of weeks and I'll be showing you that barn. Let me know if that's something you'd like to see, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.